Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second Silent Hill transmission that Konami has been delivering. This time we will be getting more updates on Silent Hill F and I believe assorted other Silent Hill projects, including the rumored Born from a Wish scenario DLC. I'm your host for this stream, Aesir Aesthetics. We're back to the Aesir Aesthetics additional channel because streaming on the usual channel, not so good. Not so good for just messing with the click-through rate and YouTube recommendations for videos. Just a headache. But hey, here we are. Hello, Daniel. We still have 6 minutes until this show starts, by which I kind of think means 16 minutes. I have a sneaky suspicion that this timing just gives them a little time to have another countdown. Hello, LL. Sorry about that. But yeah, we're getting another one of these. That makes sense. Yeah, so revenue is not down. I don't make like a lot of money on YouTube, but revenue isn't impacted by this. Views are also not impacted, but subscribers are really impacted by this. And I thought that was pretty interesting because March was looking like it was going to be it might have been the first time in the channel history where I lost subscribers for 1 month. And I think it has to do with how, number one, people just see, oh, it's a stream, I don't like that, I'm going to unsubscribe, but this isn't what I signed up for. But I also have a sneaking suspicion that YouTube kind of cleans out your subscriptions if you're not engaging with an uploader. And so if you release a lot of content that people aren't clicking, then maybe they just remove you from the sort of Rolodex, or maybe they just don't recommend your videos as much because they're like, can't really gauge. His subscribers aren't engaging with this much. So probably it's better to keep this stuff separated. I was optimistic because YouTube actually did segregate podcasts and streams and videos regularly and shorts and such. They segregated all of that stuff on your channel. And I'd hoped that would just fix it, but, apparently not. Apparently we're back to this. Which is also fine, because I think this experiment of streaming on the main channel probably hasn't been the best idea. I like having it all here. They did that with another countdown recently, started back over at 60 minutes after 0. Oh god, no, please, no. Oh, I can't live like that. But hey, Silent Hill, it's back. It's a thing again. And we get to play it. But sometimes Silent Hill, no good. And we're like, hey man, this isn't what I signed up for. But see, that's the magic of Silent Hill. What I would really like to see from today's showing is more information about Silent Hill F. This has been confirmed. We are getting more information about that. In what capacity, I'm not sure, whether it's going to be just another trailer or whether that will be the main attraction of the entire showcase. So the creators, the developers of Silent Hill F getting on stage and talking more in depth about that. That would be interesting. I would also like to see if they announce another remake, which isn't ideal. I'd rather they just make Silent Hill 5. And get the original developers back on stage. Maybe get Masahiro Ito and Akira Yamaoka. They did that last time. Maybe this time bring Hiroyuki Owaku. Or Masashi Tsuboyama. Or, maybe get Koichiro Toyama back. Or Takayoshi Sato. Get the gang back together. Force them to work for the company they all hated to work for and bailed on. But money moves many men. Money moves people. Will we have another Trauma social game? It's possible. They love making those. This is also a fun time to be streaming because I am working on the Silent Hill 4 commentary. It is cracking in right now at about 3 hours, 30 minutes. So we have about an hour to go. And the formatting is going to need an overhaul, which probably means another few days of work, because I'm this far into the script, but the video is only up to the second visit to the forest world, meaning there might be another 2.5 hours of footage to sort of sift through, and that's not ideal. So probably I'm gonna squeeze the sections on the front end, so shorten those up a little bit, like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, and then I can allow the latter sections to breathe a bit more and move the topic discussions from those sections to the later ones. I hope we don't get another boring Silent Hill game like the one walking sim. Oh, the short message one, was that a walking sim? Premieres in 60 seconds. Oh, hold on. No, hold it. We're going to get a stream up in 60 seconds. I tell you what. Oh, it wasn't 9:50 yet. So it's still entirely possible that this is going to be a 10-minute time countdown. I don't remember if we had gotten more info from the Annapurna guys. I didn't really keep up with that one because I like playing games. I don't like chasing them around as some social media experiment. And I don't remember, were there any other notable projects in the pipeline? I don't quite remember. I'm hoping we get more information though. The Black Horse reveal is that Kojima's back. Silent Hills is happening. The dream never dies, gang. But that's not happening. What if they did Silent Kill instead, where they ditched the horror elements and made it a stealth assassin game instead? No, they should make Silent Hill. Yeah, short message was no fun. I've heard that. I've heard that people really like Masahiro Ito's the Sakura head enemy that he designed. I like that design a lot, but I don't know the context for that enemy, and from all the stuff I saw from that game, it's just like post-it notes about how, just self-loathing and stuff, and it's just at a certain point, either go to the gym and fix your life, or stop making it my problem. I kid, but that sort of media, I don't connect to it. I don't think that there's I don't think there is depth in a character just talking about or just having pain shown. I need something more, and those games usually don't really engage with that. Because they think that just trauma in and of itself is so interesting, which I don't really agree with. But you said Kojima is back. That's true. Kojima's been showing his latest captive Jordan Peele. Maybe he's going back to horror. I think that's for his OD game that he was working on for Xbox. Silent Hill transmission. Hashtag Silent Hill. But also, and look, not to make this a Kojima talk, I'm not a big fan of Jordan Peele. I think that his movies connect with a lot of people, but I think they're very kind of surface level, and it's like the whole video games about trauma. It's just I don't connect to this, so competently made, but they don't do much for me. Competently made. Listen to me, as if I could do any better. Yeah, so, this award-winning director, it's pretty good, but, Style, no substance. I wouldn't go that far. I think it's just I think he makes movies for people who how to put this? I don't think his movies are going to age well. I think they're very much sort of localized within a specific or a specific time and place. It's sort of like if you watch Team America: World Police, where that movie is kind of still fun, but you watch it and it's just or you watch like movies coming from the wake of like 9/11 or The Hunt for the Red October or something, and it's just like this is so antiquated and so like so contained within the time it came out in, without a broader perspective that time grants it. But then that's probably all media that has like social messaging. Well, not actually. Like Silent Hill touches on a lot of that stuff, and those games are pretty timeless if you can survive tank controls. Acer needs a game where the character goes to the gym. This is true. Many people are saying this. Agreed. I would go that far. I would go that far. Silent Hill transmission. But tell me, chat, what are you guys hoping to see? Hoping to see this time around. Maybe we'll get a Dead by Daylight cameo from Harry Mason. Hey, also, if they do another remake, I don't think they'll announce another remake today. They might announce the Born from a Wish DLC. But if they do another remake, like, they must make the first game, right? You can't just do the second one and then abandon the first one and do like the first one is the best one. You have to do that one. But I don't know. I feel like if you're just gonna do another remake the fourth one. The fourth one is the one that like there's a better game in that game. Like I don't think you can remake Silent Hill 1 and do it better. I do think you can remake Silent Hill 4 and do it better, because I think that game there's a better game in that game. It just needs a little bit of tweaking. Just refocus it a little bit. Hey, you know how you removed all the guns except the pistol and you had like a revolver? Yeah, like don't do that. Give me the guns back. The ghosts, these unkillable enemies. Yeah, like what's the point of combat if you bring in guys that can't die? Huh? But a lot of fun experimentation in that game. What did I say? They gave themselves a 10-minute countdown, the bastards. I just gotta jump. I gotta jump back to work for a bit. We'll catch stream on archive. Well, thank you for stopping by. Hello, Yeshua. They'll do 4 remake. Yeah. But much of this is contained within the upcoming Silent Hill 4 commentary. I'm trying not to be too negative on the game, but like I said, I'm 3.5 hours in, and I do feel like I've kind of hit the point in the writing where, I don't know. I don't want to just talk about like, hey, so this isn't fun. This isn't good for me. I don't like this part. But you do want to have a comprehensive conversation about the game, and that includes talking about the parts that maybe you don't think are so great. But even those parts, there's no part of that game where I'm like, yeah, this is just bad and I don't like it. Even the parts that I don't like, there's really interesting reasons for why they were implemented. So like the ghosts, the overhaul to the inventory, Eileen as an AI partner, like she can walk around and read scripts that Henry can't read in the Forest world. These things seemingly they seem to be nudging towards a design directed more by the interactive systems rather than being hard scripted. And I think that is ultimately what they were going for. I just don't think it really landed because it was just a bit too ambitious for the time. It drives me nuts how much delay there is between commenting and getting a response on stream. Well, it has ultra low latency, but that's still, let's see, I'm moving the mouse now. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold on, that must not have been captured. Moving the mouse now. Maybe it just doesn't capture the mouse. Oh, there it is. So it's like an 8-second delay or something. Yeah, that's ridiculous. But it says ultra low latency. It's the best I can offer. What can I say? But so yeah, I'm hoping to be surprised today. I don't think there's going to be any like big drops. But Silent Hill F, I'm still optimistic about that game because it just doesn't look at all like Silent Hill, and that kind of makes me more excited because I think it's, as a license, you know, maybe it's okay to just sort of spin it off and just have different creatives do whatever they want with it, because clearly their house style of getting one team to just do something, that didn't work. But nah, I joke, Team Silent, great. But yeah, Silent Hill F hopefully will be good. Do you think they got Akira Yamaoka to write this track for the transmission? Or do you think this track maybe is just from the Silent Hill 2 remake or something? It's showing 124 now? No, that can't be right. It's so for me right now it's showing 050 something. I need to rewatch your video on Demon Souls. Yes, and you need to like the video and you need to share it. No, it's showing like 20 seconds now. You need to like it, you need to share it, and you need to show your friends. Visit your grandma and show it to her. Maybe if you refresh the page, Northern Burger, it might be more delay on your end then. But on my end it says ultra low latency, so you know, there's not much more I could do.
サイレントヒルの情報をお伝えする番組サイレントヒルトランスミッションへようこそ。サイレントヒルのシリーズプロデューサーを務める岡本。
Awesome German subtitles, gang. Yeah, hey.
私もサイレントヒル1作目からこの世界を恐れ楽しんできました。今日はプレイヤーの一人として
I'm really excited to dive into what this transmission has in store. Are you ready, Mr. Okamoto? Let's do it. What will we be covering on this transmission? Today, we're going to be focusing on Silent Hill F. Seeing as we announced the project all the way back in October 2022. We've been keeping our fans waiting for an awfully long time, but today we're finally able to provide more information to everyone who's been patiently waiting. Right? Everyone was quite excited when the teaser trailer was released, so I'm sure they'll be happy to receive some answers to the questions they've been holding on to all this time surrounding this mysterious title. We're also wearing Silent Hill F t-shirts, which I must say look really cool. I've also been meaning to ask, but where are we standing right now? This is one of the in-game locations you'll see in Silent Hill F. There's so much I'd like to talk about, blah blah blah. I'd like to show everyone the trailer. Please take a look. Awesome! Intense violence, blood and gore, partial nudity. Ooh la la! Hey!
シュウ君、嘘ついてるよね。騙せてると思う？ひなこを。ひなこはね、死んだんだよ。
死なんだよ。
ひなこはお友達といつまでも一緒にいたい。お友達は
Friends don't last forever.
彼らだっていつか
They will betray you
あなたを裏
eventually.
切る。あなたが裏切り者と呼ばれたように。ひなこ？あ、ごめん。何？天秤にかける価値があるかどうか、しっかりと判断しなさい。
Ah! Hey, are they gonna revive the 2000s schoolgirl in a Japanese village horror game? I don't like that. Those sorts of level transition screens.
ひなこ、いつまでここにいる気なの？
自分でもおかしいと思うの。自分で自分がわからない感じ。自分の気持ちが自分で理解できない。
Not understand your own
私がお前
feelings.
の夢の中ってことはないよな。
ひなこ、もう時間がないのよ。あなたが生かされたということは、ここに至ってもまだ迷いがあるということなの。あなたがそれに悩める時間はもう尽きかけている。
Ew.
あなたは誰なの？さっきからなんで何もわからないふりを。
Seemingly, there's only one enemy in this game.
あんたをすぐに殺すこともできた
Some
んだよ。
weird puppet thing that grows mold wherever it walks. The red mold.
全部奪ったな。全部私から奪ったな。
Silent Hill F. Hey Rex.
それではお別れを。あなたが幸せをつかんでくれること
I
を。
sincerely hope you find happiness. Truly. It was just imagination. Oh! Face peel. Wish list now. Hey, you could wish list this game now.
謎が謎を生み
That trailer perfectly captured how Silent Hill F inherits the series' DNA and it being able to layer mystery with even deeper mysteries and fear with even greater fears.
そして
The game will be available to add to your wishlist starting today. You can also wishlist my game today, so don't forget to check it out on your platform store of choice.
対象のプラットフォームはプレイステーション5、Xbox シリーズ
Xbox
そしてスチー
looks
ム、
alright.
エピックゲームズスト
Yeah,
ア、マイクロソフト
I
スト
think
ア
the
とな
first
っていま
trailer
す。
was much stronger.
さあ、ここからはサイレント
This looks like a much more conventional
さらに
kind of
詳しい
game.
情報をお届けしていきたいと思います。まずは皆さんも気に
Starting
なって
off
いる
with
であ
what
ろう
I'm
本作
sure
の
you've
あら
all
す
most
じについ
eager
て
to find out
私から
about
ご紹
the
介いたしましょ
story.
う。
Okay, here we go.
清水ひな子の日常は
Shimizu Hinako was living her life as an ordinary teenager, that is until her town is suddenly shrouded in fog and begins to change in horrific ways.
街は霧に包
Now
ま
she
れ
must explore a
おとなし
town
く
she no longer recognizes while solving puzzles, fighting strange enemies, and doing everything she can to survive in order to face the ultimate decision that she must make. This is a tale about a
向かい合わ
beautiful
な
yet
ければならなか
terrifying
った選
choice.
択と向き合うために
Okay. Enemies, strange enemies, so
お
it's
ぞま
not
しい
just one
選
enemy.
択の物語
This is the tale about a
いや
beautiful yet
ものすごく気に
tragic
なるストーリーで
choice.
した私もファンの一人としてワクワクしていますが岡本さんこれまで海外を舞台としてきたこの過去シリーズの作品とは違って今回はこの 日本が舞台であり
Focuses heavily
和
on
を特
Japanese
徴とした
themes,
サイレント
Silent
ヒル
Hill
F ですが
game.
まずは改めて
Could you tell us
本
a
作品の
bit
コン
more
セプト
about
を
that,
教えてください
please?
はい、本作品のコンセプ
The
トは
concept for this game
美
is
しいが
find the
ゆえに
beauty
お
in
ぞましい
terror. Oh, that's pretty nice.
サイレントヒルシリーズの
Silent
核で
Hill
あ
F
る
retains
サ
the
イコロ
series'
ジカル
core
ホラーと
elements
して
of
の要素は残
psychological
しつつも
horror,
従来の作
which
品から
challenges
一
itself
転
by
して
setting the
日
game
本
in
を舞台
Japan
にし和のテイ
and
ストを
leaning
前
into
面に
those
押し出した
themes.
挑戦的な作品となります。日本のホラーの一
A
つの
noticeable
特
feature
徴
of
は
Japanese
美
horror
し
is
さ
the
の中
idea
にお
that
ぞまし
terror
さに
can be
宿ってい
found
ること
within
です。
beauty.
美しい
When
ものは
something
美
becomes
しすぎ
too
るがゆえ
immensely
にとてつも
beautiful
なく
and
恐ろしい
perfect,
も
it
のでもあ
instead
りま
becomes
す。
deeply unsettling.
プレイヤー
And
は
so
一
players
人の
will
女性の人
experience
生
this
を通
world
して美しくも
through
お
the
ぞま
eyes
し
of a
い
young
選択
girl
を
who's
していく
faced
こ
with
と
a
になりま
beautiful
す。
yet terrifying decision.
美しさと同居したおぞましさをぜひ体験していただけたらと思います。
日本ならではのホラーを追求しているというのが本当ひしひしと伝わってく
Okay,
るんで
that's
すけれども
interesting.
美しくもおぞましい選択ってどんなことが考えられるんでしょうか。
まさにそれがこの作品
What
の
does
コ
it
アになっていま
entail
す
that
の
lies at
で、
the heart of
美
this
しさとおぞ
game?
ましさを
So
共
we
同する
hope
様
everyone
を
can
ぜひ体
experience the
験していただ
intertwining
けれ
of
ばと
beauty
思い
and
ま
horror
す。
for themselves
あ
as
りが
they
とうござい
play.
ます。
Thank
それ
you.
ではここからはサイレントヒル F の魅力をより
Ah,
深
welcome
掘りしてい
another
くために
guest.
ゲストの方にお越しいただきましょう。今回ストーリーを担
Oh,
当
the
されてい
scriptwriter.
るこの方です。どうぞ。
This one is the only announcement I cared about back in the day. I knew it would be nothing like Silent Hill, but it was made by the legendary devs and written by Ryokishi.
岡本さん
At least the story wouldn't be
龍吉さんといえば
bad.
日暮らしの
Yeah,
ナッコリーなど数々の作品を世に送り出されていますが、
Put a fog in it so that you can sell it as a Silent Hill game. I don't care.
こ
Just
の
make a
辺りの
good
経緯
game.
教えてください。
日本を舞台にしたサイレントヒルを作り上げるにあたって和風ホ
Would
ラ
have
ーのエ
loved
ッ
to
セ
see
ンスを
those
理解してい
monsters
る
as
シ
a
ナリオライ
surprise
ター
in
の
the
方が
game,
必要で
not
す。
now, so I can get
和
used to
風
them
ホ
for
ラーの
years
中
and
で
it.
最も有名な作品の一つが日暮らしのナッコロインです。
Hirogashi
多く
when
の
they
ユーザー
cry.
が
I know a
当
lot of
時
players at the
事
time
件の
enjoyed
謎を
discussing the
考察して
mysteries
い
of
ま
the
した。
events featured in the
サイレン
story.
トヒルもまた特に2がそうなんですけれども、
They always
多く
talk
の
about
ファンが
Silent Hill
考察を
too.
楽しんでいるコンテンツです。恐怖があり考察がある
It's only
ストーリー
natural
を
that we would
書くにあ
ask
たって
Ryokishi
日暮らしの
to
ナッ
help
コロ
us
イン
write a
の
story
龍
full
吉
of
先生は
scares
ベスト
and
な選択でし
intrigue.
た。龍吉先生はサイレントヒルの大ファンでもありま
Oh,
す。
he's a fan of the series. That's
本
cool.
作も最初のエンディングを終えた時点では多くの謎が残されますので、ぜひ楽しみにしていてください。
岡本さんありがとうございます。さあ龍吉さん、サイレントヒルのファンというのも分かりましたし、やっぱりこの恐怖考察といえば龍吉さんというのは我々も本当にこううなずくところなんですけれども、今回岡本さんからオファーを受けてどんな気持ちでこちら臨んでいったんでしょうか。
はい、最初はですね、
I wasn't shocked that I'd been approached by the creators of Silent Hill. Alright, pretty cool.
私のスタ
My
ッフ
team
の
kept
方
telling
が
me
む
not
し
to
ろ
get too excited.
いや
Yeah.
実はシナリオ
Just a small job, nothing to do with the
小
script.
さいお手伝いの仕事かもしれないからぬか喜びにならないようにね、ちょっとまだ冷静に落ち着いて待っててねみたいなことを言って
It's interesting that
私に気を使ってくれたぐらいで、それで入念に
well,
打ち合わせを
maybe you'll
重ねて
answer
た
the
ら
question.
どうやら本当にシナリオの話らしいということでものすごい浮かれ
And
て、
the
そ
excitement
して
turned into anxiousness when I
すごい
went to
緊張
Konami.
感でコナミさんにお伺いしたことを覚えております。
龍吉先生のサイレントヒル愛が本当にすごいので、私たちも安心して任せることができ
I
ま
like
し
this
た。
guy's
いや
voice.
この
Really
今
kind
回
of
サイレントヒルシリ
high-pitched
ーズの完
raspiness,
全
sort of.
新作ということでやっぱり緊張して臨んだと思うんですけれども、新たなストーリーを作るにあたって意識したことがあれば教えてください。
そうですね、やっぱり一番最初に実は私もコナミさんにお伺いする直前までは日本が舞台になるとは思わなかったんです。やはりサイレントヒルという街の名前を冠した
Right,
ゲ
so
ームですから
he was
やは
kind
り
of in the
サ
dark
イレン
about
ト
this
ヒルが舞
project
台に
too
なると
from the
思っていたん
offset.
です。ですが実際に
That's
お会い
not a
して話を
surprise.
聞いているうちに今度
Why
は
would he
日本を
know?
舞台にしたいと。
He wasn't involved with
私の方で
it.
はサイレントヒルってのはサイレントヒルでやるからサイレントヒルなんだろうと思ったんですけれども、じゃあ巣はサイレ
So
ン
let
ト
me
ヒ
start
ルとは
pondering
何
what
ぞや
exactly is
街の名
Silent
前
Hill.
がつい
Of
てるんです
course, it is
こ
the
の
name of a
作
town,
品
but
自
more
体
than
は
that,
一体何を
what
描いて
story
いる
is
か
it
という
trying to
こと
tell?
それで
In that
岡本
first
さんと
meeting,
随分
he's
初期
talking
の
about his meeting
打
with
ち合わせで
Konami.
サイレント
I
ヒル
spent a long, long
な
time
んぞや
asking
ということを
Mr.
随分
Okatamato,
会
blah
話
blah
を
blah
交わ
blah
した
blah,
んです。
trying to get at what
で
makes
ま
Silent
ず
Hill.
サイレントヒル
First,
と
on
いう
one
物
hand,
語
Silent
こ
Hill
の
is a
タイトルが持
setting
つ側面の一つはサイレントヒ
one
ル
that
と
has
いう
seen
土地が
many
持
memories,
つ
stories,
記
and
憶
much
や
pain.
物語、
Okay.
痛みやあるいは
In other words, it's a
その土地の
physical
暗い歴史
space.
などをかたどったそういう
With
も
a
ちろんサイ
dark
レントヒルで土地の
history.
側面そしてもう一つ
On the other
は
hand, Silent Hill is
登
also
場人
about
物たち
portraying
の
characters'
心の闇と
struggles
か罪とかあるいは
with the evil within
そういった
themselves,
わ
sin,
だかまり葛
discontent,
藤
and
そういった
conflict
も
in
の
a
を
visually striking way.
視覚的に
Not
描かれた
like Silent
新
Hill
象
2 was
世界で
about
対
that,
峙していく
and I have a
そういう
feeling
世
that
界
you
を
haven't
描いてい
played
ます
the other ones,
この2つ
bro.
の面があったわけです
It's a gateway into the psychological battles of the
前者
human
でなく
mind.
後者が
If we consider the latter to be
サイレントヒル
closer to the core of Silent
であると考
Hill,
えたならばサイレントヒルは
then we can see how this game is very much a Silent
至
Hill.
ったわけです。
やっぱりファンならではの葛藤があってデ
He's
ィスカッ
just
ション
played
が
the
あって
second
今に行き着いてるんですよね。いや他にも意識されてることがあるの
It's
で教えてくださ
fine,
い。
but
実は
you know.
私それまでのサイレント
Up
ヒル
until now, I
を
have played every
やらせて
Silent Hill
いつ
game,
も
and one thing I
割と
noticed
女性
is
が割
that
と受難というか気の毒な生まれた時から
many other female characters are put through a great deal of suffering throughout their lives, which is why I thought if this game is going to have a female protagonist, then I want to be able to make her own decisions for better or worse amid her struggles. Alright. I don't want to be blah, 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 but I wanted to find her own answers. The kind of protagonist that leads the kind of story
いや
that I
こ
want
の
to
選
create.
択を繰り返していって結末
Alright,
そして未来を
alright. So
掴んで
he
いく
claims
まさし
to
く
have
サイ
played
レン
the
ト
other
ヒルだなというふうに感じました。ありがとうございます。お二人の本作にかける熱い思い伝わってきました。さあ岡本さん、
Oh, shit.
こちら新しい場所に我々やってまい
They're
り
at
ま
a
し
new
た。
location.
こちらちょっと神社でしょうか。鳥居も
He's like
見えますし
pretending
そして
to
何よりもちょっと
to actually be in the
重々しい雰囲気
location.
が
I like
こ
that.
ちら漂っているわけなんですが、同時に古い日本のような印象があるんですけれども、
could be
こちら
Japan in
の
the
時代設
past.
定いつなんでしょうか。
はいサイレントヒル F は
Set in the
1960年代の
1960s
日本
in
の田舎
Japan.
町を舞台にしています
Okay.
時代交渉も丁寧に行ってストーリーや舞台を作り込んでいます
ということでこの私た
It's
ち
safe
が
to
い
say
る
that
この
this
場所、そして
location and
ト
the
レーラ
others
ー
we
に出
saw
て
in
き
the
た他
trailers
の
were
シーンも
almost like
非常
pictures
に
of the
リアルにな
past.
っているとい
You
う
know
こと
what
です
else
ね。
happened in
ということ
Japan
は
in the
どのように作り上げてい
1960s?
るんでしょうか。
A little guy called
ゲームの
Hideo
舞台に
Kojima
なって
was
いる
born.
恵比寿ヶ丘という
It's
町は
not
実際
impossible
に
that this game
岐阜県に
ends
存在する下呂市金山町という場所
with
を
a young
モデルに
boy
しています
and he's like walking up. He's like walking on the steps here,
実際にスタッフが行って
and you know he
そこで
picks
写
up
真を撮っ
like
たり音を収録したりしてですね
a cardboard box,
その
and he puts it on his head, and he's like,
生活感というものを
"I'm gonna make a Metal
落とし込んでいるという
Gear."
当時に
And
それを
then
1960
it's
年
like
代に
Hideo
本番として
Kojima has entered the
昔の資料
chat.
なんかも拝見しながら作っていきました
あ、そこまで徹底されてるんですね。
Silent Hill series is more than the
こうしてみ
second
ると
game. I wish
ゲ
they
ロ
would
シ
see
金山
that.
町の実際の場所が
Yeah.
このゲーム内で再現されているというのが
That's
よ
look.
く
When
わかっ
I
てくる
make
わけなん
Silent
で
Hill
すけれども、
5,
ち
I
なみに
promise you, I
ゲロシ
promise you,
金
I
山
will
町が
remember.
モデ
I
ル
will
となった
remember the other
決め
games.
手どこにあるんでしょうか。
はい下呂市金山町の筋骨エリアを舞
Okay,
台
the
に
writer
したい
said
と
that he
竜
wanted
吉
the
先生
story
がおっ
around
しゃいまし
kind
て
of
それ
spaces
で
and
採用する
alleys,
こ
so
とにな
that's
り
what
ま
we
した
went with.
竜
Okay.
吉先生の肝入りということですが、ちなみにこのエリアを選んだ理由教えてください。
そうですね。
By the way, if you're interested in the guy's
物語
work, don't watch any
を描くにあたって
adaptation. Play the
ス
show
タッフ全員に
novels.
こういうところを舞台にしたいというのを映像として
But they butcher the
共通
adaptations.
認識を持ちたかったんです。それで私が日暮らしの泣く頃にもそうだったように
There must be
舞台
a
は
stream.
例えば白川郷がいいなと決めたように
No, probably
今回も
I was really hoping there'd be a stream which had like
どんなところ
an
がいいだろう
English
ということでいろいろなところ
narration.
を見比べた結果ゲロ市の方に足を運びまして実際に筋骨地区を見せてもらいまして、この筋骨地区っていうのは非常に面白いエリアで生活と時代に合わせてどんどんこう家々やその建物の
It's
形
talking
住む
about
人
the
によって
structure
ど
of
ん
the
どんこう
houses, how they
形が変わっ
change
て
and
きたという
respond to the
のを
residents'
肌で感じら
lifestyle
れ
as
る
well as the
とて
passage of
もそ
time.
の独特の
It makes for an
造
extremely
形
unique
感のある
townscape. I
街
will.
なん
I
で
agree
す
with
よ
that.
ね。
I think
で
that,
それが非常
but I
に
don't think that's like a
興味
uniquely
深くて
Japanese thing. I think this is
歴史
just
とか時代とか
architecture
を
prior to the
イ
car
ンスピレーシ
is
ョン
much more
を感じ
interesting
す
to
るエリアとして
navigate.
素晴らしいなと思ってここにしたいなと。
They really work as games because you need to interact with what's
金
happening.
山町は創作意欲、そして竜騎士先生を刺激するには素晴らしい場所だったということですね。
そうですね
あ。りがとうございます。さあそれでは続いてコンセプトビジュアルの紹介に移ってまいり
Talk
ま
about
し
the
ょう。
game's concept art.
さあ気味悪く恐ろしくもありながら同時にどっか美しさも感じる
Some
魅力
beauty
的な
amongst
ビ
this
ジュアルとなってい
unsettling
ます。
horror.
侵食された世
The
界、
imagery of the
鉄パイプ
rotting world.
少々
And a young girl with a
Silent
steel
Hill
pipe
の恐怖が
conveys the
伝わってき
horror
ま
of
す。
Silent Hill.
そしてこのビジュアル内のひな子を含めたキャラクターやクリーチャーのデザインはケラさんが
Are
担当さ
designed
れて
by
います。
Kara.
本日はケラさんからコメント
Kara
が
left us a
届いているの
message
でご
today.
紹介いたしましょ
I love the Silent Hill series, and it's a big influence on me. In particular, I'm constantly remembering Silent Hill 2, big surprise, and the messages on the walls, the music, and the monster design. So when it came to Silent Hill F and bringing the setting to Japan, we had to come up with something that we felt was a little different. And I really think about how to get that feeling. The monster designs were the hardest. I had to consider everything that's come in Silent Hill before and figure out how to take this game in different directions, but still be Silent Hill. It might not be the exact same blood-smeared, rusting scenery, but I sincerely hope you'll enjoy our vision and the world we created. Why always just Silent Hill 2? They made 4 of these games!
はい、竜騎士先生同様にケダさんの参加によって新しい風が吹き込まれているなと感じています。過去のサイレントヒルシリーズとは異なって美しいゆえにおぞましいというコンセプトを意識するような特殊なデザインが作り上げられていると感じています。
もう岡本さんもしっかりとその点評価されているということですが、竜騎先生はご覧になっていかがですか？
いや、私も全く同じで、ただ単にグロテスクなだけならば描ける方はたくさんいらっしゃると思うんですけど、ケラさんのようにその中に独特の一本筋の通った美しさっていうのもまた一つの偏った言い方なんですけども、独特の世界観をお持ちな先生にお願いできたというのは私もとてもありがたかったと思ってます。
Silent Hill 3, let me see if I can maybe
サイ
find
レ
the
ントヒル
image.
といえばクリーチャーもやはり魅力的。ケラさんが他にもどんなクリーチャーをデザインしたのか、そしてそのクリーチャーには何が反映されているのか、早く見てみたいです。今後の情報が楽しみです。
Alright, so here's one part of the opening. I'm just assembling something in the background while they yap about creature design, I tell ya.
我々の背後にはこの狐の像がそびえ立っています。すごい緊張感が漂っています。さあ、ここからはもうお一方、新たなゲストをお迎えしてまいりましょう。サイレントヒルシリーズの楽曲といえばこの方、コンポーザーの
Oh, they got Akira Yamaoka back.
どうぞ山岡さん、よろしくお願いいたします。
That's kind of cool.
さあ、山岡さんは昨年リリースのサイレントヒル2など、これまでもサイレントヒルシリーズで数多くの楽曲を担当されてきていますが、本作ではどのように参加されているんでしょうか？
今回は表世界、サイレントヒルの表世界、裏世界ってあるんですけど、
I was put in charge of the fog world, there's a fog world and other worlds. What is this guy?
僕も四半世紀以上にわたってサイレントヒルの最初の作品から携わらせてもらってて、今回こういうオリジナル新しい作品でやれることに本当に嬉しく思ってます。
1作目から携わっているということですけれども、今回サイレントヒル F のサウンド制作にあたってはどのような思い、どのような考えで取り組まれているんでしょうか？
そうですね、日本が舞台の、今回は、サイレントヒルなかったんですかね、日本が舞台っていうのは。和っていうものをもちろん
Okay, I have
ですけど、
some
やっぱり
images here.
海外のたくさんのサイレントヒルのファンにも届けたいので、
Don't worry, chat. This is all gonna be worth it. It's all gonna be worth it.
その分かりやすいホラーではないんですけど、ジャストホラーっていうところを注力したというか、そういったところですね。
やっぱり全世界の方に楽しんでもらうためには日本だ
And
け
this
で
is
はない
actually
ってことです
my
よね。
research into the reoccurring themes of FromSoft have actually kind of paid off
やっぱり今回の F のストーリー
looking at Silent Hill as well.
ものにちょっとフォーカスして、
So
見ればね、これは日本
when you start Silent Hill 3, and this is why it's important to remember that there's more than just the second game. This is the image you see. Here's Valtiel, the attendant of God, spinning valves, and above him are a pair of hanging legs. The valve, according to the Book of Lost Memories, represents his control over the flow, right? The cycle, the flow of the other world. The game and, the transition to the other world usually involves blood and pain for Heather, because, it's all about childbirth and such. Silent Hill 3 begins with a cutscene set in the amusement park, where you look at these teacup rides. It's a circle with 3 circles inside of it, and on each one of those there are another set of 3 circles. This image is the halo of the sun. There's a circle, and there's the 3 circles that are laid within it. And when Heather looks at the sign, she's relieved, but she's also terrified. And in the Book of Lost Memories, we learn that they specifically say that for the player, Heather reviving is convenient, but for her it is painful. And I contend that that's because it's the Wheel of Life. And those 3 circles are the 3 poisons or 3 fires of the Buddha. And the reason it is painful for her to resurrect is because she's being fed through the cycle again to endure pain until she can overcome and ascend. And that's what I think the Halo of the Sun imagery in the 3rd game is about. And developer information and what they wrote in the Book of Lost Memories seems to confirm this. And there's also like the spinning fans also represent this. There's a spinning fan above Henry when he wakes up in the apartment, right? And it's the first thing you see after you go through and wake up from the other world, right? So you go into the hole, and that's like the birth canal. The idea in the 4th game is that you're born into the nightmare. And then you live in the nightmare for a while, and you suffer, and then you see a character die, and then you wake up again. And the ceiling fan, the symbol of resurrection, according to the Book of Lost Memories, is the first thing you see. Because that's the loop, right? You're born into the nightmare, you live and suffer in the nightmare, death happens, and then you die, like death, and then you wake up, and then you go through it again. And this is what Silent Hill is about. Like, this is a bigger theme that you... Like, when people talk so exclusively about Silent Hill 2, this is one of those things that's missed. Because Silent Hill is about more than just people with dark tendencies being lured to a town that gradually unravels the mysteries and how they might or might not be a bad guy, you know. Not that Silent Hill 2, like Silent Hill 2 is pretty universally agreed upon to be the best one. I prefer the first game, but like technically I can I can vibe with Silent Hill 2 being the best of them. It still incorporates all of that in it. There is a reborn ending, like the Book of Lost Memories. The Born from a Wish scenario, it is about collecting materials for a ritual to revive the dead, and about how Maria has like a conflict with her identity, and she's warned before meeting James. They're like, you know, he's a dangerous man. You shouldn't go meet him. But she's kind of lost. And these are ideas that I don't think developers that exclusively play the second game really pick up on. Okay, so they've been talking about why the game is in Japan now. There's more came out, the Japanese soul, that it used to become more faint over the years. We felt it was like we started to feel, so we thought, what if we went all out and made a 100% game, the game 100% Japanese? That became the inspiration, or really the driving factor behind this game. So, you saw this trend within the existing game and wanted to try something completely different? Huh? And that's how you arrived at Silent Hill F? Huh? Also, Silent Hill has always been really interested in Eastern ideas, like I just went over now. And it's just that it's kind of, you know, the actual imagery of the other world, the monsters they meet and the iconography, it's all super like Christian and satanic. But in canon we learn that this is just how the other world shows itself, because it came into contact with the Christian imagery of the settlers who lived there and brought this imagery with them from the old world. But this isn't like the other world didn't manifest these ideas. They're just kind of showing people what they expect to see. And likewise, Silent Hill, the series, it looks like it's set in America. It is set in America. It stars a bunch of white people, and it's in America. But it's not about Western ideas. It's about deep Buddhist Eastern ideas about like resurrection and karma and stuff like that. And you know, there's a lot of ideas taken from Western media too, but I'm not vibing with this whole, well, what if we made it Japanese instead? It was always Japanese. That's kind of like the great thing about it, is that, and this is why it's so hard to decipher it, is because it has imagery and symbols from non-Eastern media that lead you to think like, oh, it's about like alchemy. Or, you know, oh, it's about like, if you look at, you know, Incubus, oh, you know, or like it's these satanic imagery and you like study that to try to make any connections. But that's a red herring. You know, it's this Eastern thing dressed as this Western thing, like how the other world is this otherworldly thing that's just dressed up as this satanic thing. But the visual is sort of betraying you and you need to look deeper. The whole Silent Hill 2 glazing reminds me of the Tom Hewlett era. Look, we have to forgive Tom Hewlett at some point. It's not healthy for us to keep the beef. But I will say, you know, if we're going back into deep Silent Hill lore here, that the repeated imagery in these trailers of skin sort of flopping off, it does sort of, circumstantially, it does sort of support the foreskin theory, if you guys remember that one. Researching Silent Hill 4, I found an article where somebody, because on Wikipedia it has a lot of citations, and I'm like, okay, I'll check out all those citations. And there are a lot of articles where they will say something like, oh, Henry Townsend is based on this actor, and Henry Townsend is based on this actor. And they never cite this. So I found the original article where this first was cropped up, and he just sort of says, yeah, he kind of looks like him. Maybe he was based on him, and then he just keeps steamrolling ahead, and it's just this scatter shot, like, you're just bringing shit up here. You're not, like, you don't have developer input on this. It's just like this guy writing this crazy essay. And subsequent articles just like ran with it, so a lot of the process of writing the commentary has been like, well, I need to sift through a lot of this. I can't take any of this seriously unless I have the quote from the developers. They're still talking about sound design. What did you take extra care with? Oh. You have worked on numerous Silent Hill titles, Mr. Yamaoka. Is there anything you focused on, in particular, to set Silent Hill F apart from previous titles? In previous Silent Hill games, although it was set in the West, it was made by Japanese people. So there is a certain Japanese essence to the games. Okay, well, he seems to respect that. Something that non-Japanese people can't replicate. As Japanese creators, there are certain creative choices and expressions that come more naturally to us. Hey, okay, Yamaoka is making sense here. For people outside Japan, this adds a sense of freshness and innovation to the games. Oh my god, he's saying it. I was just saying it, and now he's saying it. It's beautiful. That's one part I felt was key to maintaining Silent Hill's heart. Since this game is set in Japan, I wanted to prioritize this aspect from past Silent Hill games. The fandom then kept perpetuating stuff like that. Yeah, precisely. They would just like repeat this sort of shit and there was no backing of any of it. Oh, you really went all out. Oh. He wanted to express his Japanese identity as much as he could. This feels like fluff, you know? Hey gang. Kind of feels like I'm listening to a man fapping. Why are they holding a document to read off when this could be pre-recorded? One aspect in particular, without a doubt, the monster design. We put a lot of effort into combining Ryukishi's vision with Kira's art. Okay.
非常にその人の心理
Lots of great monsters that really infiltrate players' psyches.
結構負荷をかけました。
考察はかどるぜです
That'll
ね。
give
これは
players a lot to dive into and discuss, I
リュウ
imagine.
キさん、ちなみにこの
Were there any traditional elements, Ryuki-san, or aspects where you just felt if we don't include this, it won't feel like a Silent Hill game?
でね、シナリオライターの立場からす
To
る
be
と
honest,
そういうことさえ
it's
も
hard.
ネタバレ
Might
に
be
な
a
るよう
scriptwriter
な
might
気が
spoil
するんですけ
something.
ど、そうですね。まあサイレントヒル
One
の
of the
魅力的な
appealing
ところは
aspects of
やっ
Silent
ぱり
Hill is that
なんていうん
the
ですかね、
player or
あ
protagonist
るいは登場
is
主
dropped
人
into
公
a
が
situation
まだ
they don't
状況
fully
が分かっていない
comprehend.
状況下で
That's
他の
true.
登場人物が投げか
Other
けてくる
characters keep them
謎めいた
confused with cryptic
セリフが
dialogue, and you won't
後に
realize what they
こう
meant until much
分
later
かってくる
on.
時の感覚
That moment of
が
understanding is a
一つ
core
の
component of
ねサイレン
Silent
トヒル
Hill.
らしい楽しみだ
And
と思
one
うん
of
です
its
よ。
most
なんで
enjoyable parts,
そういうとこ
I
ろ
did
に
my best to
何を
incorporate
力を
that
入れて
into
み
the
たん
game.
で意味がわからないけどなんか意味深なこと言われたなと思ったらぜひ
Alright,
心に
alright,
留めながらプレイをしていただけると。
ワクワク感が広がりそうですね。それでは山岡さん、音作りでサイレントヒルらしさの伝統を継承した点1点お願いします。
僕の場合はもうその
Alright, so what did he
やっぱ
point out from tradition? I've been working on Silent Hill for more than 25 years now.
サイレントヒルらしさ
At this point, the music becomes Silent Hill-like without any strong
なる
conscious
というか何も考えないで
I don't really need to
もう
think
本当
about
に
it.
ニュートラルでいくとサイレントヒルらしくなるので、
はい。
なるのでっていうと
I can create it in my neutral state.
山岡さんはもうサイレントヒルなんで
Oh,
す
it's
ね。
because you're a part of Silent
な
Hill.
っちゃうので
そのままでいることがある種継承ができてるということですよね。
そうですね考えずにっていうところはというところはなんか、ふと思いましたね。
いや皆様貴重なお話ありがとうございます。さあ今回はこの辺りとさせていただければと思います。
Higurashi does have an unreliable narrator, so I'm confident he will achieve the effect he wants. I think this might be
ここま
good.
で様々な情報をお伝えしました
I don't think it's going to
サイレ
be
ントヒ
very
ル
Silent
トランスミッショ
Hilly.
ンそろそろ終了のお時間が近づいてまいりました。それでは本日のおさらいと
I'd like to
して
provide a recap of
改
everything
め
we
て
covered today.
サイレントヒル F についての情報をお伝えいたします。
I mean, it's nice to see
まずは
Akira
新
Yamaoka,
たなトレーラー
even
が
though I
公開
don't
となり
think
ました
he's quite the
そして
creative
本
force
日
that
ウィッシュリストの
they
登
always
録
kind
が
of try to
開始とな
present
って
him
おりま
as.
す。対象のプラットフォームはプレイステーション5、Xbox シリーズ X、S、Steam、エピックゲームズストア、マイクロソフトストアとなっておりますので、ぜひ各プラットフォームでウィッシュリスト登録をお願いいたします。それでは最後に皆様から改めてファンの方々へのメッセージをいただければと思います。龍騎さんお願いいたします。
Final words for us
今
fans.
作はさまざまな挑戦にあふれています。サイレントヒルらしさについてさまざまなご意見が出るだろうと思っています。そしてサイレントヒルシリーズの今後にとって重要なものになるだろうと思っていますので、皆さんぜひ
I
プ
hope
レイ
fans
して
will
いた
play
だ
the
い
game
て
for themselves and let
ご
us
評
know
価を
their
よ
thoughts.
ろしくお願いできればと思います。
龍騎さんありがとうございました。それでは山岡さんお願い
Yamaoka,
いたし
if
ま
you
す。
could share your message.
サイレントヒルっていう
Silent Hill
作
F is
品の
filled with
中
a
で
lot
も
of firsts.
この日本を
Its
舞台に
Japanese
した
setting,
ゲーム
its gameplay,
初め
and
て
the
な
world
のに
it brings
まあ
you
シス
are
テ
all
ムであっ
new.
たり
And
世界
still
観
it preserves the essence of what a
すご
Silent
く
Hill
似た
game
ところで
is.
すね。新しいの満載なんですけど、サイレントヒルらしさっていうのは損なわ
I
れて
hope existing fans of the series will enjoy playing it. It
い
preserves the
十分
essence of what a Silent Hill 2
これか
game
ら
is.
サイレントヒルなんだろうと。ホラーゲーム好きなファン、このゲームが気になった人も楽しめる内容になってますので、ぜひ期待しててください。
山岡さんありがとうございました。最後に岡本さんお願いし
Giving
ま
us
す
a。final, do you mind giving us a final word,
日
Mr.
本を舞台に
Okamoto?
しているにもかかわらず、本
This is
作は
without a doubt a
サ
Silent
イレン
Hill
トヒ
game,
ルらし
regardless
い
of the
作
setting
品
in
に仕上がってい
Japan.
ます美しさとおぞまし
Silent
さ
Hill
が
is a
共存
mixture
した
of
ビジュア
beauty
ル
and
は
terrifying
和風ホ
visuals,
ラーとして
gives
の
new
サ
life
イ
to
レン
the
トヒル
Silent
の
Hill,
新
the
しい
Japanese
姿を
style
示して
horror
いると
game.
思います今後の続報に
Please
ぜ
stay
ひ期待して
tuned
くだ
as
さ
we
い
bring you more news in the
ひ
future.
なこという女性が体験する
It's a
人
story
生の
about
楽さを
experiences
し
and
っか
truths
り
of
体
life
験
through
で
the
き
eyes
る
of a
も
young
のにな
woman
りま
named
す
Hinako.
今回こうして
It was our pleasure to
新しい
share
情
these
報を
updates
お届けす
about
るこ
the
とができ
game
て
with
嬉しく
everyone
思ってい
watching.
ますまだお伝えできていない
There's
情
much,
報が
much
た
more
く
that
さん
we
ありま
weren't
す
able
の
to
で
cover today,
今
so
後の
be on the
続報をお
lookout
待ち
for
いただ
future
ければと
updates.
思いますまたこのサイレントヒ
More
ルトランスミ
information
ッ
will
シ
be
ョン
shared
では今後も継続してサイレントヒ
in
ルシリ
future
ーズの
Silent
情
Hill
報を皆さんにお
transmissions.
届けしてまいり
Oh,
ま
that's
す
pretty cool.
こちらも続報を楽しみにしていてください
Pretty cool.
皆さんも
Pretty
一緒
cool.
にこの期待を膨らませていきましょう。それでは本日はご視聴いただき
あり
ありがとうございました。
Yeah. Done. What What are we thinking, chat? I think they brought a decent, kind of a low energy, like not like low energy isn't bad, just like kind of relaxed, you know. I recall an interview where it was either Tsuboyama or it might have been Akira Yamaoka actually, was talking about how they had like this huge concept for Silent Hill 5, and they were talking about like, well, you know, we've done the other world, we've done darkness, we've done fog. How about like really bright areas? And it was like going into like some musings about how can you use brightness for horror, and I think that's still something that this series maybe should experiment with. And I also think that, you know, I would like them to get more original creators back. I think Masahiro Ito back for Silent Hill 2, that's great. Even though I don't think he did much. I think he did some concepts, like concept art. I think that's, I genuinely think that's about it. I think getting the original Japanese guys, especially now, like they're 20 years older. They were kids when they made those games. They were 20 years old or something. Get them back now and like give them a lot of money and have them like see what they could do now. If they all had to work together. I just got here, so not much. Probably the best we'll get from this whole revival, but it will not sell as much and would have been better as a non-Silent Hill title. I don't know. I don't think that. See, I think this is so just not deeply connected to Silent Hill at all that I don't think it would have mattered. I think they could have named this. I think they could change the name right now, and probably it won't change anything. What I'm really dreading is an endgame revelation where the spiritual power is revealed, and it's like, I'm gonna go to America. I'm gonna go to Maine in America, and I'm gonna settle in Toluca Lake, and that's where I'm gonna be, and you know, it's an unwanted and unasked for origin story for all the other games. But no, it's probably not going to be that. Thanks everybody for coming on. I think all of you are in the Discord, but if you're not, there's a link in the description. No, they're going to have a rough time if they want to bring Sato back. Yeah, Takayuki Sato is busy making Luigi's Mansion games. He's not coming back. I'm going to go to America and change my name to James Sunderland. Just add unnecessary wrinkles into the lore for no reason. Oh, it's me, Dahlia Gillespie. Oh, this is Dahlia Gillespie when she was young. She had a face transplant and became American. No, chat. That would be stupid. That's the decision. That's the beautiful and tragic decision she has to make. She has to become an old woman. But yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by. I think this was fun. And streams probably gonna be exclusively on this channel now, or at least until I hear that they've changed things over, which is fine. You know, wanna have something to do with this channel. At least I got here in time to leave a like. Thank you, skeptical bucket man. They will gaslight you that she looked Japanese in the original Silent Hill 1. Yeah, it's like, well, you couldn't really tell. Hold on. Hold the phone. Yeah. Yes. So they'll be like, yeah, you know, you can't tell. Like it was always meant to be like, ignore how she looks in the CG cutscenes. She was always meant to be Japanese. No. Hopefully none of those sorts of ridiculous shenanigans. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Bye-bye.